Hello, my name is Anna. I'm 18 years old. I'm a university student majoring in business administration. In my free time, I enjoy traveling, meeting new people, and learning about different cultures. Traveling makes me feel alive and curious about the world. I've always dreamed of visiting other countries, trying their food, and seeing their famous places in real life, not just on the internet or in books. Today, I'm going to share my travel story with you. It's about my trip to Singapore. This trip was very special to me because it was my first time traveling abroad alone. I didn't go with my friends or my family. It was just me, my suitcase, and my passport. I had to plan everything by myself, from booking the flight to finding a hotel, and even deciding where to eat. It was both exciting and a little scary, because I had never done this before. Before the trip, I spent a lot of time researching about Singapore. I read travel blogs, watched videos, and wrote down a list of places I wanted to visit. I imagined walking along Marina Bay, eating chili crab, and taking photos in the colorful streets of Chinatown. Even though I was nervous, I knew this would be a great chance for me to grow, learn, and challenge myself. The night before my flight, I started packing my things. I opened my pink suitcase and carefully folded my clothes. I packed a few t-shirts, some light pants, and a dress for nicer dinners. Since Singapore's weather is warm, I made sure to bring comfortable clothes. I also packed my sandals, sneakers, and a light jacket in case it rained. I placed my passport inside a small travel pouch so I wouldn't lose it. I put my toothbrush, toothpaste, lotion, and sunscreen into a toiletry bag. My headphones, phone charger, and a small power bank went into my backpack. I also brought a small notebook and pen to write about my trip. I checked my suitcase twice, walking around my room to make sure I didn't forget anything. I remembered my mom's advice: pack light, but take what you really need. I removed 2 extra shirts because I didn't want to carry too much. Packing felt like the first step of my adventure. As I zipped up my suitcase, I felt a wave of excitement. My heart beat faster as I thought, this is really happening. Tomorrow, I'll be on a plane to another country. On the morning of my trip, I woke up early. The sky outside was still a soft gray, and the air was cool. I walked into the kitchen where my parents were having breakfast. My mom looked at me and smiled warmly. She asked if I had eaten yet, but I was too excited to eat much. My dad was reading the newspaper, but he put it down when he saw me rolling my suitcase into the living room. Before I left, my mom hugged me tightly. She told me to take care of myself, keep my phone charged, and call her every day. My dad smiled and wished me a safe flight. He reminded me to keep my money and passport safe at all times. Even though they trusted me, I could see the worry in their eyes. I put on my shoes and took one last look at my home before stepping outside. I waved goodbye, and they stood at the door, watching me leave. The taxi was waiting for me at the gate. As the car pulled away, I saw my parents getting smaller in the distance. I felt a mix of excitement and sadness. It was the first time I was traveling so far without them, and in that moment, I realized how much I would miss home. The taxi ride to the airport felt surprisingly short. I watched familiar streets pass by until they slowly turned into wide roads lined with signs pointing toward the terminal. When we arrived, I paid the driver and stepped out, the cool breeze carrying the scent of fresh coffee from a nearby cafe. The airport was already busy, travelers pulling suitcases, families saying goodbye, and announcements echoing through the air. I took a deep breath, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. Inside, I checked in my luggage and received my boarding pass. With every step toward the departure gate, I felt like I was stepping closer to something new and unknown. My parents' faces flashed in my mind, and for a moment I wished they were here with me. Still, I reminded myself this was my journey to take. After passing through security, I followed the signs toward my gate. The waiting area was filled with people from different places, some chatting quietly, others lost in thought. Through the large glass windows, I saw my plane waiting on the runway, its white body gleaming under the morning sun. When the boarding announcement came, I joined the line, my heart beating a little faster. I scanned my ticket and stepped onto the jet bridge. The sound of the engines grew louder, and I could smell the faint scent of jet fuel in the air. Inside the plane, a flight attendant greeted me with a warm smile, guiding me to my seat by the window. As I settled in, I looked outside one last time. The city felt far away already, but my excitement for the adventure ahead was stronger than the sadness of leaving. The airport was busy and full of travelers. I stepped out of the taxi and looked up at the huge glass building, feeling both excited and a little nervous. Pulling my suitcase behind me, I entered through the automatic doors. Inside, bright lights and the sound of rolling luggage filled the air. I followed the signs to the baggage claim area, walking past shops selling snacks, souvenirs, and travel essentials. My heart beat a little faster as I waited by the conveyor belt. When I finally spotted my suitcase coming around the corner, I quickly grabbed it and checked the tag to make sure it was mine. It was a bit heavy, but I was relieved to have it safe with me. Holding the handle tightly, I made my way toward the sliding glass exit, ready for the next part of my journey. Outside the airport, the cool morning air mixed with the smell of freshly brewed coffee from a small cafe nearby. I walked to the taxi stand and joined the short line of passengers. My suitcase wheels rattled over the pavement as I moved forward. When my turn came, a yellow taxi pulled up, and I placed my luggage in the trunk. The driver greeted me politely and asked where I was headed. To my aunt's house, please, I replied with a smile. As we drove away from the airport, the city began to open up before my eyes, tall buildings, busy markets, and people rushing to work. Sunlight streamed through the window, warming my face. I leaned back in the seat, feeling both excitement and comfort, knowing I was getting closer to family and the beginning of my new adventure.